So you're thinking about hiring a virtual assistant. Now, perhaps you're starting to see your business grow and you want to make sure you're showing up in the best way for your customer. And in order to do that, you need to get out of the administrative weeds and really place your focus on the services you're offering your customers. Well, here's what you need to know prior to hiring a virtual assistant.
It up.
My name is Nicole Boddington, founder of the FTLOP Inc. And this is the Biz Bytes Series, where we'll be offering you just a bite of content that will help you improve your day-to-day operations within your business. A virtual assistant is someone that is able to assist you with administrative services that will allow you to focus more on other areas of the business. And the great part about it is they're doing it virtually from the comfort of their own home or a coffee shop. Now you don't have to worry about offering a physical dwelling for them to support your team, which is a win-win for both you and your virtual assistant. Now, let's talk about some ways that the virtual assistant can help support your team. They can do things like answering phone calls, perhaps handling travel arrangements. They can assist you with copywriting. They can assist you with social media management, perhaps your CRM tools or any other softwares that you use on a regular basis to help support your client experience. They can help manage it all. The great thing about a virtual assistant and their role is there are no rules, right? So you can really create the virtual assistant that will just make your team operate better. That's the great thing about it. So now let's get into a few tips that I think will help you really make the right choice long term. The first tip, we want to talk about what you're putting into your job description, otherwise known as a JD. Now, when you're putting together your job description, let's consider two different case studies. First, let's say you're a team of one. If you're a team of one, what I'd suggest is take the next 1 to 2, maybe even 3 weeks, and all of the administrative tasks that you take care of on a regular basis, or perhaps some tasks that you take care of that might not necessarily be administrative, but you really just don't like doing them, and you can delegate it over to someone else, put those to paper. Then what you want to do with that list is you want to align them to skill sets. And then that's what you're going to include on your job description. Now, let's consider the fact that you have more than one person on the team. This is the perfect opportunity for you to get your team together and roundtable what it would look like to help alleviate some of the additional tasks that they handle on a day-to-day basis so they can focus on the core of their role. So any administrative tasks that they take on that may take up more of their day, if they can roll that onto someone else, that's what you want to start putting to paper. And that, again, is going to help you draft the perfect JD. The second tip I have for you would be make sure you have a list of all of the tools or softwares or apps that you use on a day-to-day basis that helps run your business. This will be the list of tools or software that you want to ensure that your virtual assistant is actually ready to use immediately, right? This is going to help you speed up the onboarding process. Now, for example, let's say you're thinking about a customer relationship tool, right? And you are used to using one specific type of tool, and this candidate is not privy to this particular tool. Now, you're going to have to do one of two things. You're either, let's say they're great in everything else, you're either going to have to now engage another virtual assistant to help you with this CRM tool, or you're going to now have to teach this person how to utilize this tool for your business. Now, that is going to really extend the onboarding process for this virtual assistant. And if you really want to get them onboarded right away, try your best to include these softwares, because then that will help you make a decision on the best person to add to your team. Now, here's number 3. Document your processes. Now, I know your first thought is, okay, I can document my processes that are pretty big, but the smaller ones, do I really need to put that to paper? Yes, yes, and yes. Why? Because when you are thinking about your business long term, you have to think about the fact that you'll be bringing on multiple people and they may be handling the same software, handling the same type of customers, so forth and so on. You want to be able to really be more efficient with the onboarding process once you have more than one person you're bringing onto the team. So for example, if you're teaching them how to utilize a particular tool you use to manage your social media, okay? Let's say you're using Planoly. Okay, perhaps you have a certain way of handling how you put in the information, like who handles taking the picture, who handles creating the copy. Maybe there are different people that do that. So maybe it's okay, it has to go to person A first, and once it's done, they take it to person B. They take 2 days to do it, and then now we post it on day 4, okay? You need to put those processes to paper, because when your virtual assistant comes on, if they're a part of that process, they need to know the interdependencies. So for example, if they are the person that actually posts it, they need to know the people that come before them, what they need and how long it'll take to get it to them, so they can now upload it into Planoly and get it going for auto scheduling if that is set up. Now, the only way that they're going to understand that process is if it's put to paper. And if that particular task now gets passed on to someone else, you don't have to go through the whole process of teaching them this again. It's already to paper, and you can literally just include this on in your employee handbook. Now, I know you're thinking, employee handbook, I only have like 2 employees. I'm a small business. Yeah, today. But if we're thinking about this long term, you want to get those processes to paper so that you can onboard your future employees quicker. The other thing I would suggest, and you can consider this as like a part B to this tip, right, is when your BA is starting to create processes for whatever responsibilities you've placed within their role, make sure they put those processes to paper too. Because then if you decide, you know what, this person's no longer a good fit as we're starting to grow, you can literally take all of those processes and pass it on to the next person. Remember, efficiency when you're looking to grow your business. The next tip, clear expectations will help you reach your goal faster. And really that's regardless of whoever you're onboarding. But more specifically to a virtual assistant, I would say it's really best to set up a 30, 60, 90, which is, here's what I'd like you to start taking on within the first 30 days. Here's what I'd like in the next 60, 90, and so forth. Here's why this is beneficial. Because if you and your team have put together, let's say, a list of 30 or 40 tasks, you're probably not going to say, I'm taking all 40 tasks and I'm rolling it on to you by day 1. That is going to impact your business negatively. If you're looking for them to really increase the productivity for your entire team, what you want to do is consider saying, you know what, here are the first 5 tasks I'd like you to handle in blank amount of time, and here's how we're going to get there. And that kind of brings me to my next and final tip, which is be patient. When you are onboarding someone, remember, onboarding a virtual assistant, they're handling the administrative tasks. This may feel like it's time-consuming tasks, but thinking about it bigger picture, as a virtual assistant, you are probably getting the least amount of accolades, but without you, people will feel that something is missing, right? They are the intertwining thread that helps really keep your business strong and running fast. So be patient as you're bringing them on. Realize that you may want to set very clear expectations, and you want to make sure you're walking them through it as a process. It's not a light switch. So this is going to be ongoing strategic conversations to make sure that they understand what needs to be done. You're following up with them and saying, hey, have you done this? What does it look like? Okay, here are some of the feedback that I have for you so that I can align more with what I have, what my expectations are. All of these steps take time. regardless of how well seasoned that virtual assistant is, remember, they're still assimilating to your business culture. And if you really want them to be long lasting and effective, because that's what you want, you're paying them, you want them to be effective, then you've got to be sure that you're taking your time to have continuous, deliberate conversations about what your expectations are and how you want them to handle small tasks or big tasks. Now, if you stayed until the end, we appreciate you for watching. I hope this video was helpful. Meet us in the comments and let me know, do you already have a virtual assistant, or are you thinking about hiring a virtual assistant? If you already have one, share a tip below that lets us know one thing you wish you knew before hiring a virtual assistant. Or if you're thinking about hiring a virtual assistant, share one reservation that you have about hiring one. Now, I know as a small business owner, it's always a challenge for me to get some of these things off my plate and be okay and trusting enough that the person I've hired is capable of handling these tasks efficiently. And this way I can kind of place my focus on other areas of my business. Make sure you comment below with hashtag get out the weeds, because that's what you need to keep in your mind. As you continue to scale your business, you have got to get out of the weeds. And the way you do that is hiring a virtual assistant. Thank you so much for watching. Until next time.